Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan. If you're new here, welcome. Subscribe if you like doing crafty things. Otherwise, we're going to jump into a tutorial today. And today's tutorial, we're actually going to be remaking something. It's going to be a little bit unusual because normally on my channel, I kind of try to upload, or have been trying to upload from kind of easier stuff, slowly getting more difficult. And that's mostly because that way, if I upload a tutorial that is more difficult, I can reference people back to earlier, easier instructions that kind of cover the basics. But for today's video, I'm kind of skipping that because I've only done one video on this type of craft before, and that is Rexlace. So today, we're going to be making one of these because as you can see, mine started to break here. So what you will need for this craft is you will need, obviously we're working with string, so you're going to need scissors as always, but the main part of this craft is going to need Rexlace. Some people call this Gimp, some people call it Boondoggle, Scoubidou, there's a bunch of names for it, but basically it's plastic lace. There's a bunch of different brands. This one is actually my favorite. The string is a little bit more sturdy than other brands I have tried, but it's just called Rexlace. I think it's like $6 and something from Michael's. You can also get it in little skeins and stuff. I don't have any of those on hand to show you guys. Here's sometimes their packaging. It's the same brand, but sometimes their packaging comes a little bit different. And then there's, actually, all the colors I have picked for today's are Rexlace brand. So you can buy it on spools, you can buy it on smaller spools, you can buy it in skeins and all kinds of stuff. And really the only difference is some of it is a little more stretchy than others. But I like this Rexlace brand because it is a little more sturdy. So for today's craft, you are going to need 4 different colors. So I'm going to do this tri-colored one, which you guys can see is purple, white, and blue. And the purple and blue are like see-through. And then I thought I would pair that with just a plain white string and a blue string. And then I wanted like a pop of color, so we're gonna do this outrageously bright yellow with it because I think that will be fun. So first things first is we have to cut our strings. And you're going to need 1 long string of each color. So obviously, how long you cut your string is going to depend on how long you want your keychain. I'm going to do kind of my go-to length for every string craft is generally hold your open string in one hand and your spool or skein in the other and unravel it until your arms are like wide open. Now for this craft today, it doesn't matter if you have an angle on your strings. When we were doing the Rexlace bracelet I showed you guys, it was very important that there was angled strings on that for how you end it, but we don't have to deal with that today. So now I have all my 4 colors cut. I'm going to fold my string in half to find the middle of it. So there we go, I have it folded in half. And now we're going to choose where we want our colors. So I'm going to grab my old one here to show you guys. So whatever color you're going to lay across the bottom when we start this is going to be the outside, the outermost color of your spiral. So for me, I think I want that to be this one. And then, sorry, can you guys hear that going across the tripod? I kind of like that sound, not gonna lie. And then I think I want my middle color, so the middle of my spiral where that purple is, I think, actually no, you know what? I think that's what I'm gonna use this for. And that bottom color, I'm going to do white. Okay, so now I have my colors laid out how I want them. So like I said earlier, I want this white to be my bottom color, or the color that will show on the outermost side of my spiral. And then I want this purple white and blue tri-colored string in the middle, and just the yellow and blue to either side. I don't really care which side they're on. So at this point, we are still in the center point of our string. And we're going to start folding. It's very similar to how you would start a square stitch or a round stitch, depending on where you learned. It'll be a different name, but we're gonna go through it and I'm gonna show you how to do it with all these strings. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bottom left string and I'm going to fold it up and over so it's sitting above the other white string. And I'm just gonna hold it like this so you guys can see. Okay, so it's to the right or above our unfolded white string. And at this point, we want all of these strings up here to fold down over here. So I'm gonna do them one at a time so you guys can see what I mean and what I'm doing. So this top blue one, we're going to fold it down. And I want it to sit above, just like the white one, I want it to sit above the unfolded blue. We're gonna do the same with the tri-colored one. So I'm gonna fold it over and I'm going to place it above the unfolded string. And the same with this final ridiculously bright yellow. I feel like I'm probably gonna regret that color choice, but it's okay. It happens. Okay, so now all of our folded strings are sitting above or to the left of each of our unfolded strings. And now, if you watch my other video, I kind of explain how, my Rexlace bracelet video, sorry. If you watch that, I kind of explain how in Gimp, you never want to leave an edge open. So right now, we've got this edge open. So we're gonna flip that over. And now all of these unfolded strings over here are what I'm going to call open edges. So now that we've got it folded like this, we're going to start weaving our unfolded strings. So I'm going to take the bottom blue or the rightmost blue that we have not yet folded, and we're going to go over and under. So over the open white to lock it in a loop and underneath the loop of our other white. And pull it up. Now that blue can kind of be left unheld, so you don't have to worry about it as much because it's locked in with the loops. Now we're going to take the bottommost of our tri-colored string and do the exact same thing. So over the open edge of the white, that's the white closest to us right now, and under the loop of the second white. So now we look like this. And again, you can now kind of leave that tri-colored alone. And then we're going to take the rightmost or bottommost of our bright yellow string and do the exact same thing to do the final close off of this open edge. And we're just going to put it through the loop. At this point, we can just pull our strings tight. Maybe kind of awkward, and you may have to kind of pull them each a bit on their own to actually get them all laying flat and at the same sort of tension. But once you get a couple stitches in, this will be easier. Okay, so now you should have like this little checkerboard sort of style starting to it. The bottom should look like this. So we see our center base string and our 3 strings folded underneath it. Okay, so now we're going to do our first stitch. Now you can just do this as like you would a box stitch and fold these strings straight across, and you would just get like a tri-colored brick where you'd have this white on the skinny sides and you'd have your 3 colors in a stripe upwards. But we want the spiral effect that, or I want the spiral effect that my old keychain had. So we're going to do this as if it was a circle stitch, which means we're going to do everything just on a slight angle. So where if you wanted to do this as a straight box sort of stitch or brick stitch, you would fold this white right across where it was folded before, and it would sit to the left-hand side of this string. But because we want it round, we're going to fold this on an angle, and we're actually going to fold it to the right of our unfolded white string. And all the other strings are going to follow suit. So this blue string is now going to fold over, and it's going to sit above our unfolded blue string. Just like that. So then your corresponding strings, so this tri-colored string is going to sit where you can see the blue string used to sit. And the same with this. So we've got this. Okay, there. So now we've got this. Everything is folded on an angle, and now we're going to fold that white string down. And again, you're not folding it straight across. Everything is on an angle, so you're going to fold it down. And it's going to sit underneath or to the left of your already folded white loop. And now we're going to fold the unfolded colors of our strings. So remember, this is now what I'm going to call an open edge. There's nothing locking this in. If I let this go right now, it's going to fall over and everything's going to fall apart. It's going to go over the first open string and under the loop of the second white string. And it's on an angle, so you can kind of see underneath there. If we were folding this as a box stitch, it would just go across, but we don't want to do that. We want to put this basically where that blue string we already folded came from. Like that. And then we're going to take this tri-colored string and again go over the open edge and under the loop. So over the white string closest to you and under the one that's farthest. And we'll do the same thing with this final yellow string. Over that open edge and under the loop. And then pull it tight. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that again. So we're going to take this bottom white string and we are going to fold it up to the right of our unfolded white string, like so. We are going to flip all these strings over, so I'll do it one at a time so you guys can see. So we want the blue sitting above the unfolded blue. We want the tri-colored string sitting above the unfolded tri-color string. And the same with this yellow. We want it sitting above or to the left of its unfolded counterpart. So it looks like that. And then we're going to fold our unfolded white over so it sits to the left or underneath our already folded white loop. And then we're going to over under with all of our colors. And they should fold over under to the right hand side of their folded counterparts. So we're going to go over the open edge and under the loop. And then over the open edge and under the loop. And then over the open edge and under the loop. And then we'll pull it tight. Okay, and now I'll show you one more time, just for good luck. We're going to fold this bottom white string up so it sits to the right of the unfolded white string. And then we're going to need all of these strings to flip over. So we're going to go the blue, and it's going to fold down, and it's going to sit to the left or above the unfolded white string. And the same with this tri-colored string. fold it over, and it's going to sit to the left of its unfolded counterpart, or above, depending on how you're holding your string. Whatever is easier for you to remember. And then finally the same with that yellow, so that everything is slightly on an angle. Then we're going to flip our white string over, the unfolded white string over, and it's going to sit to the left of the loop we already folded. And then we're going to over under with our unfolded center strings. And they are going to over under to the right hand side of their folded counterparts. And then we pull it tight. Now for some of you, doing the over-under method like that, where you fold the individual strings, isn't your style, and I get it, that's the way I like to do it, but I know a lot of people who I've taught don't like to do it like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you just what I call the flip method. So basically, what you'll do is you'll flip all 3 of your strings at once and just arrange them the same way we were before. So the folded strings are going to the left of your unfolded strings, and then you're going to flip these strings all so they're all to the right of the strings that you just folded. Try and pinch it and hold it so you can see it is going to be the most difficult part. So there we are. And then you over under with your white string. So we have an open end here. We're going to go over the yellow under the loop, over the tricolored under the loop, over the blue under the loop. And you want that white string that you just folded to be to the right hand side of the unfolded counterpart. And then we're going to take this white and do the exact same thing. So this is an open end, so we're going to go over the blue under the loop, over the tricolor under the loop, and then over the yellow and under the loop. And that right there is why I personally don't like the double flip method. I just find it hard to hold all my strings in the right place when nothing's kind of anchored down. But in case you find that easier, I will show you one more time. So I'm going to flip all of these strings over, and they're all going to go the same arrangement as the last time. So all of them are going to go to the left of their currently unfolded counterparts. But that's only going to be for a short period of time, because now we're going to flip all of these ones up. And they're going to sit to the left of the folded, or sorry, the right of the folded loops. So it looks like this. And then we're going to take the white, and this is an open end here. And we're going to go over the open ends and under the loops. My string is twisted here, so I'm just going to twist it back so it all looks even when I'm done. And then we're going to do the same thing with this white, over the open end and under the loops, and pull that tight. And you can already see that spiral starting. So let me pull this tight. You can already see the spiral starting here. And because I did the first method 3 times, I'll do the flip method 3 times for good luck as well. So we're going to take these top strings and we're going to flip them all down. And they're all going to sit to the left of their currently unfolded counterparts. Like so. And then we're going to flip all of these ones, and they're going to sit to the right of the strings you just folded. We're going to take this bottom white and we're going to go over the open ends and under the loops. So over the open yellow, under the closed yellow or the looped yellow. So under, over, under, over, under, over, under. And then you're going to do that with the other white. You're going to go over the open end and under the loop, over the open end, come on, there, over the open end, under the loop, over the open end and under the loop. So you look like this, and then pull it tight. And you're going to do this, continue to do this, for the length of your keychain, however long you want it, and I'll join you back to show you how to do the tassel on the bottom. Okay, so now I've made this as long as I want it, and my last stitch I'm going to make sure is a tiny bit loose here before we start doing our tassels. So I've got a little bit of movement here. I think that it should be good. So at this point, to create the tassels, this is going to close off your gimp so you don't have to worry about it coming undone. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to loop our strings, our open strings, around a loop into the center section. So for instance, I know that's kind of doesn't really make sense, but I'll show you here. So this is an open end, it's just our string hanging out, and I'm going to push it around this loop, this blue loop where it's been folded, and I'm going to push it up, here we are, into the hole in the middle of that blue stitch there. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the second one, which is the blue string, open string. I'm going to move it around this loop, so the tri-colored loop here, and I'm going to put it under that white string and push it up the hole in the center. Like that. And pull it tight. Now my string got twisted here, so I'm just going to twist it back. Like that. And we're going to do this for all of the strings. So put an open string and wrap it around its neighboring loop. There we are. Now the open yellow string, we're going to go around, its neighbor is this loop here. We're going to go around that loop and push it up into the center, the same spot where this tri-colored string is. And then we're going to go to the white open string and do the same thing. We're going to go around this yellow loop, and it's going to come up in the same hole where the yellow and the tri-colored string is. There we are. And you can pull that section tight. And now we're going to take our yellow string and we're going to push it up around the tri-colored loop into the same hole that our blue string is in. So it's going to go around this loop here. And we want it to come up in the middle here, like so. And pull it tight. And then move on to the next one, which is the tri-colored string. And we're going to wrap it around this blue loop, and it's going to come up in the hole where our white string already is. Oh, that one went nice and easy. Like that. And then our blue string is our last string here and it's going to wrap around this last white loop and into the center where that tri-colored string and the white string are. And now we can pull everything tight. So you can grab it string by string, section by section, whatever is easier for you to get a hold on. Sometimes I find this to be a little bit slippery in my hands, so sometimes just tightening it one by one is best. And there you have it. Now you can trim to your desired length. But as always, I'd recommend making sure you leave this sit before you put it on a keychain or anything. I'm gonna do slanted ends on this just because, whoop, sorry guys, knocked the camera there. Just because I like the way that looks. I think it looks more finished. I'm gonna trim these to roughly the same length. And before I put this back on my key ring, I'm gonna let it sit for at least 3 hours, but even better if you can leave it sit overnight. And that just kind of sets the plastic so it's less likely to come undone. And there you have it. Your Gimp keychain. At this point, I just put a key ring through this loop here. And that broken one that I showed you guys, woo, this is gonna roll away on me. The broken one I showed you guys, this one I've had on my key ring for a couple of years before it snapped. So that's like my car keys, so it's pretty much used almost every day. So I expect that this will hold up for quite a while. And it's a bit brighter than this one, so thought it was time for a good change. Anyways, guys, if you have any questions or you didn't understand anything in this tutorial, please let me know in a comment down below. If you did like this video, also give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do plan to upload more Gimp tutorials and all kinds of other crafts, so if you guys like crafts in general, then please subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Bye.